This week, we're trying ZIPAIR's business class. Or wait, is this business class? This seat sure looks like a business class seat, but everything else is a bit different, a bit weird.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Welcome back. Today we're flying to Manila with ZIPAIR. ZIPAIR is the long-haul, low-cost subsidiary of Japan Airlines. They operate a fleet of 8 787 Dreamliners and have flights to Asia and the US. In almost every way, they're a traditional low-cost carrier. You have to pay for all your checked baggage, you have to pay for seat selection, you have to buy any and all food and drinks that you may want on board. It's generally a pretty standard low-cost carrier situation.
And what is your name, sir? Situation.
Except they have these. They have 18 of these lie flat seats at the front of their planes. Now, they're not alone here. Other long-haul carriers offer these kind of seats on their planes, be it AirAsia X with their goofy angled lie flat seats, or Jetstar with their premium economy seats that they like to call business class. When you fly AirAsia X or Jetstar, you book these seats as the premium option. They not only come with a premium price, they also come with all the goodies. You get checked bags, you get food, you get priority boarding, free seat selection. They give you the full premium treatment. ZIPAIR, on the other hand, does things a little bit differently here.
You and I are very different people.
They sell this as just a special seat type. You don't get any special treatment at all. You still have to pay for your bags, you have to pay for seat selection, you have to buy your food and your drinks on board. For all intents and purposes, you're still just a basic, cheap customer that just happened to pay for a cool seat. They have completely unbundled business class in a way that I don't think I've ever seen an airline do before. How much are you paying and how's the experience on board as just another cheap passenger? Well, let's go and find out. Quick thing about the baggage, I don't know if you can see, but I've got quite a lot of baggage. I got 2 bags, they probably weigh 15 kilos or something. Everyone pretty much says 7 or 10 kilograms for carry-on. And yeah, I'm probably a little tad over that. I am a little bit stressed about this ZIPAIR flight. They're very specific on the 7 kilograms. Apparently they weigh bags. I had a whole debacle just before repacking my bag. Long story short, I have way too much baggage. For carry-on ZIPAIR. So I'm just going to repack this bag and then hope that they don't make me check it and don't charge me. Because I thought they were going to make me check it, but then I actually could check it online and I've got my boarding pass on my phone, so I haven't spoken to anyone. Not sure how that'll work out once I actually go through the line to check in. So when I was buying the ticket, they tried to upsell me on 15 kilograms of carry-on or 30 kilograms of checked baggage. I didn't pay for either. So we'll see what happens. I guess I was lying before when I said the treatment is exactly the same as everybody else. You do get slight priority in boarding because we're sitting in rows 1 to 5. Step 1, priority boarding, you've got to pay for that. And also the bags, I survived. There was one ZIPAIR gate agent that was staring me down a little bit, but she got dragged off to do something else before she could come over and ask me about it. So made it through there. First impressions are, it's pretty good. A bit weird. Doesn't have a TV, you're just looking at the safety instructions, but apart from that, comfortable seat. A little bit tired, not me, but the seat. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but pretty incredible for the price. Anyway. Sorry, I haven't drunk any coffee today and I'm just going to try and get a couple more hours. I guess the main thing is we made it on with the bags. That was my main headache. That boarding process was very Japanese too. Like they scan you at the gate and then you just walk to your seat. They don't check it at the door like every other airline. I guess they know if someone's out of place, but you really need a high trust society so people don't just start sitting in the business class seats, you know? Okay, wow. So it's about a little over an hour into the flight. I've been napping. I've just brought around the meal service, which I think I ordered this when I booked the flight. So we've got the Zip original curry rice. Let's take, and I also got a Coke Zero on the side, and then they just include a bottle of water as well. I guess that's when you order food, they give you water, but let's have a look. So we're going to put this one firmly in the it smells better than it looks category. Yeah, let's try it. To be fair, it tastes pretty good. It's just like a Japanese What are they? Katsu curry? No, similar to that. It's beef. It's a little bit spicy, but nothing too crazy. The rice is fine. Not a whole lot of texture, not a whole lot of variety, but in terms of actual just raw flavor, it's pretty tasty. This is well and truly the first time that I've ever eaten something out of a cardboard box in this seat, or in a seat like this. It's an interesting experience. You do get a wet towel along with the drinks. This was like a meal deal. I think it was like $11. You know what, actually they have Wi-Fi, so I can tell you exactly how much it was. Let's get into that now.
It's kind of expensive.
So you just connect to the Wi-Fi and then you go to wi-fi.zipair.net. There's a whole documentation thing that tells you where to go on your web browser and all that. You go here and we got free internet available. I guess you just hit connect now. Okay, all you got to do is agree to their privacy policy. So I guess they can scrape all your internet traffic or whatever. And then just like that. Oh, someone liked my reel. Who was it? Oh. You know, we get a live shout out now. Alright, the internet was too slow for a live shout out, but I think it was the Lockies09 liked a Flight Formula reel on Instagram, so go follow me on Instagram, go follow Flight Formula on Instagram. Anyway, back to this internet. So we're connected to the internet now. Does it work? This is satellite internet. I don't know which one though. Is it a good one, or is it a fast one? Is it a slow one? I think it's a slow one. That took a while. I mean, it worked, but it took a while. Guys, I swear it's the satellite internet, not the servers. This thing will load instantly if you try it on your own computer at home. Speaking of, go and subscribe to the Flight Formula Wine Tracker Plus. Go on, give me money. Alright, so the internet works, but it's definitely not fast. The other interesting thing that we can do here, if we go back to that Wi-Fi homepage, you can order beverages and food and all sorts of stuff through this website thing. They do have some hot food, but it tells you there's only like 2 left. There's only 2 vegetable penne pastas left. $15, so it's not exactly cheap. It's like set Japanese appetizers. I mean, it looks alright, but is it worth $20? I don't know. But yeah, you just order it all through the app. You don't flag down the flight attendant and have to pay them. So, I mean, theoretically, I think you just do this. Add to cart, go to your cart, check out. Okay, so we have to do okay, there's a bit more of a process. You do have to log in and do stuff, but it's quite a nice way of doing it, really. I generally like this. They do sell goods here as well. They sell hair cleansing stuff, stainless steel straw, a lightning charging cable for $15. That's a bit steep. Compression socks for $59? Wow. Seat. What's this? Are you telling me you can upgrade? You can upgrade. Okay. So you can't, but you might be able to upgrade. Oh, you can't. Wait. Oh, so that's just if you want to change. If I want to change seats, it's 1,000 yen, so $10. I could move to a different fully flat seat. The fact that you can just buy a seat upgrade on the plane, like, I don't know how that actually works, but that's kind of cool. They do have in-flight entertainment, but they've got like a very limited selection of movies. 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 movies. We got Crazy Rich Asians, The Intern, Dune, Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, so they got some like good movies going on, but they don't have any TV shows. They're free to watch. You just hit watch and then it starts to stream. I don't think there's even any ads. You can just skip to any point that you want. Pretty good experience, really. But there's only 10. Better than nothing. It's incredible that they don't charge for it. It's incredible they don't charge for the Wi-Fi too. It's an interesting business. It's an interesting business model. I'm happy. And this is like a legit business class seat. This is a good business class seat too. If it had the screen, this is like as good as all of them, really. In the front toilet now. Funny thing about this whole thing is I think there's no like barrier or curtain between the standard seats and the lie flat, fully flat, whatever you want to call them, seats. It's not business class. So people have just been like using the toilets all over the shop, which I guess you can do. Just means that there's quite a bit more foot traffic than your usual business class. Anyway, incredibly standard toilet. They do have hand soap. There's no luxury sprays or anything, because of course this isn't business class. I'm going to say that 20 more times in this video. Interestingly, big old sign telling us not to smoke or vape. Interesting. Side note, I think, okay, Like, I don't vape or smoke, but I feel like you could probably vape in a plane, right? And that's more just about regulation than about actual technicality. Like, vape might not even set off the smoke alarm. Anyway, one cool thing with this being a Japanese airline, I'm not sure if this is every toilet. We're going to have to check one of the other toilets a bit later, but are you ready? This one, at least, has got bidet functionality. Bidet.
Oh.
Bidet functionality. It's a Japanese smart toilet. Yeah, I just love that. On a plane, I'm not sure, but generally the Japanese toilets are incredible, so I like that they do it on the planes as well. I remember with Japanese airlines, they didn't have it in every toilet. Only some of them were special bidet toilets. Same with ANA, actually. This one is the really, really front one. This is the one, the cockpit's just there. So we're right at the front of the plane. Maybe it's like the pilots get the bidet functionality and the rest of them are normal. I don't know. That was an absolute mess. I'm going to start bleeding everywhere, but let's go into bed mode. That whole messing around, by the way, was to get a hoodie out of my bag because it was a bit chilly before, but I feel better now, so I might not need it, but it's still going to be my makeshift pillow because obviously I didn't buy the amenity kit with the blanket and the pillow and everything, and I didn't bring my own, so well, I did, I guess, in the form of a hoodie. It doesn't matter. How fast is the USB? That is the question we all want to know the answer to right now. What are we getting? I can't see, of course. I really can't see that. I think we're getting... That looks like 7.5, which is okay. It's not incredible. It's not fast charging. It'll charge your phone at a reasonable rate. Some planes are like 2.5 watts, so that will actually charge your phone. Anyway, I'm gonna nap. I'll be back soon.
While that Simon sleeps, I have to talk about the optional services that they try and upsell you during the checkout process. Now, there's the obvious ones. You've got airport services. You can buy the option for priority boarding and priority baggage. You can pre-buy an amenity kit. You can buy some snacks and souvenirs. Interestingly, you can also buy clothes and cosmetics. Now, I believe when you buy all of these, they get delivered to you on the plane. But I have to mention the foods and souvenirs section because this might be the craziest thing that I've ever seen as an upsell on an airline's website. They will sell you cup noodles. And at a first glance, you go, okay, these are for when I'm on board, right? Look at the prices. We've got 80 USD for a set of 2 boxes and 147 USD for a set of 4 boxes. Now, when I actually clicked on this and read through the description, I discovered that you're buying boxes of noodles. So each box is 20 units. And so for the $147 option, you're buying 4 boxes. You're buying 80 cups of noodles. It even gets a little bit more crazy because you continue on in the description and they say, please collect your item at the baggage claim carousel at your arrival destination. So what you're saying is that if I buy this, it'll then just show up as like a bag for me? I don't know. I didn't buy them. I didn't want to have to haul around 80 cups of noodles on the rest of my trip, but I'm kind of regretting that now. That would have been awesome.
I've just been like down bad. No, I've just been basically laying here. I couldn't actually sleep, but I wouldn't say that's the bed's fault. It's fairly comfortable. I don't know, like it's relatively long. If my head's touching the top, my feet kind of hit the sidewall of the plane, but there's still length to go towards the like end of the seat. So I'd say maybe from like tip to tip.
It's tip to tip, so you're going full length. 4, see?
Oh. From the middle out. That does make sense.
I'd say it's maybe like a 6'4" long bed, end to end. Anyway, noticeable things about the bed. Is there any... Not having pillows and blankets is weird. It's the first time that I've laid in something like this and not had that, so that's just different. I will say it is quite a comfortable like bed, or quite a comfortable like seat. Like the foam and everything is pretty good. It's really well padded. But yeah, otherwise... It's pretty busy. People are walking up and down the aisle all the time. I think that's because people from the back can use these toilets. So that's the first thing. Second thing is there are toilets right behind me and you can hear them. Like, I've sat near the toilets before on planes and it's not really a problem. I don't know. I've been like in the last row before with the toilets back there and you don't notice it, but it's quite noticeable here. I'm not sure specifically why. It might just be the sort of materials used, or it might be the way that it's laid out. It's bouncing around, or I don't know. Anyway, you can like really hear all the flushes. So that was definitely a little bit annoying, but all around, super impressive for how much this cost. ZIPAIR flies to like LA, and I think they fly to San Francisco. They definitely fly to Hawaii. This is like a ridiculously good option for one of those like 10-hour flights. If you came prepared with a blanket, this is like probably the most like best bang for your buck way of getting across the Pacific. I don't hate the concept, because a lot of the time the seat is the biggest sort of, it's the thing that makes the most difference. I don't actually care that much about having a 3-course dinner, shock and horror. I'm more than happy with a zip special curry. So coming into land now, I'm gonna sit up a bit. I'm gonna go see if there's bidets in the other toilet.
Just a couple of quick things before we land in Manila and get into the whole pricing situation. First, the seats, specifically the storage. There's not a whole lot to work with here. You get a couple of small netted compartments, one of which was broken on my seat. Definitely not ideal. Beyond that, you've got the table and some space under the ottoman leg rest thing. That's about it. Compared to other reverse herringbone style seats that we've seen before, this is definitely one of the weaker ones in terms of storage. That being said, it's still better than something like Singapore Airlines' regional business class or Garuda's business class, which have almost nothing. But overall, it's not great. Next, I did cut my finger earlier and I was bleeding everywhere. I asked the flight attendants for a band-aid. There was a bit of back and forth before they fully understood what I meant. They were prepping for a full first aid treatment, putting on gloves, getting antiseptics. I think this was mostly the language barrier. I did eventually get 2 band-aids though, and they didn't charge me. So that was all good. And I have to say that generally, the flight attendants do speak really good English, and they're just generally really lovely. At least the ones that I interacted with. And lastly, the in-flight internet is incredibly slow. ZIPAIR uses Panasonic's satellite system. Web pages take ages to load. I'm talking like tens of seconds per page here. I was able to book a hotel, but it took me a few minutes just to do the checkout process. You're not going to be streaming Netflix or watching YouTube here. ZIPAIR did announce a couple of years ago now that they will roll out Starlink on their planes. Once that's implemented, and if it's still free, that could be a ridiculous deal, especially considering how incredibly affordable these seats are. Finally, let's talk about pricing. My all-in cost here was $348.38. US dollars in this case, and I didn't pay for many extras.
I'm not paying extra for that.
But I did pay for a few, including the meal, the Coke, and seat selection. In total, we're at just under $330 for this seat on a 5-hour flight to Manila. That is a great deal if you ask me. For reference, economy seats on this flight are generally in the $160 to $170 range, so they're charging just under twice the price, which is pretty insane when you consider that the floor area that these seats are taking up is going to be close to 3 economy seats worth of space. ZIPAIR is profitable though, at least according to Japan Airlines' last financial report. However, we don't know exactly how profitable because JAL doesn't report ZIPAIR as a separate business unit. Instead, it bundles ZIPAIR and Spring Japan, its 2 low-cost subsidiaries, into a single financial category. And that brings up a more interesting question. Can long-haul low-cost airlines actually succeed? There's an insightful 2013 McKinsey report that analyzed the economics of long-haul low-cost carriers. I won't bore you with every detail, but here's the core idea. We all know short-haul budget airlines like Ryanair, Jetstar, AirAsia, they can offer dirt cheap fares because they have major cost advantages over traditional full-service carriers. McKinsey found that by maximizing aircraft utilization and using lower-cost workforces, short-haul low-cost carriers achieve a 25 to 50% cost advantage over legacy airlines. But on long-haul routes, this advantage shrinks a lot. Fuel costs become a much bigger share of total expense, and many of the strategies that make short-haul low-cost carriers so efficient just don't translate to long-haul flying. For example, short-haul budget airlines thrive on quick turnarounds, packing in as many flights as possible per day. That's simply not possible on long-haul routes. There are other challenges too. Passengers flying longer distances tend to be less price sensitive. Full-service airlines can offer relatively cheap economy fares that are offset with premium seat and cargo revenue. These all add up. And that is why we've seen so many long-haul low-cost carriers struggle, or just flat out fail, all while short-haul low-cost airlines like Ryanair, AirAsia, Indigo have become some of the biggest airlines in the world by fleet size. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that video. Go check out flightformula.com. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
You may know him as Simon Dean from the WWE. Congratulations on a successful career. Thanks for the friendship and thanks for all the memories.
We are in the Philippines.